Beth Hodges and I go to Billericay School and I'm in Year 12. The name of my film is Puzzle and it's a certificate 15 in the genre of horror. I decided to make my film a 15 as after viewing many films in the new and improved cinemas, I noticed that the films that received the most attention were films with a 15 certificate. So I followed the pattern and tried to maximise my recognition and popularity. Also, I was always keen on creating an opening sequence in the genre of horror, so I thoroughly enjoyed the research and planning stage as it allowed me to really develop my understanding of my favourite genre. In order to effectively and thoroughly complete my research and planning, I relied heavily upon technology to do this. For example, I used the internet to access YouTube, which is a large platform where videos are uploaded for the public to watch. On YouTube, I could watch and analyse opening sequences of films. This allowed me to fully understand the conventions of not only all opening sequences, but sequences in my preferred genre also. I noted down the stereotypes I saw in these opening sequences, and all of the symbolic and technical codes that reoccurred in the majority of the sequences. I also researched the history of my genre, alongside famous directors. This secondary data was only available because of technology, and so I immediately relied heavily upon it. I also needed to document my findings that I'd accumulated from my opening sequence. So I created a Tumblr account, which is a large part of social network. Tumblr is a microblogging platform and social networking website, which is widely used all around the world. This was the perfect way to present my research, and so was a vital aspect to this stage. This is known as convergence, as I am promoting my product of my film industry on other media platforms of social network. Also, I brought music and film together. For example, I needed music to accompany my opening sequence, so I combined the audio of a simple composition with the high-tech elements of my film. I am bringing together elements of media to widen my product in an effective way. When I started to get ideas for my opening sequence, I used PowerPoint on my laptop to create a pitch that I would present to my focus group. My pitch included samples of font I would use in my sequence alongside music I wanted to incorporate. It allowed me to express my ideas. When presenting to my focus group, I use special animations to further present my ideas in an entertaining way. PowerPoint is a fun way to present things to an audience, so therefore using this was a good way to engage my focus group, further enabling better feedback. The feedback from my focus group helped me improve my ideas on my opening sequence. However, as I am near the absolute final of creating my opening sequence, I've come a long way since my pitch. I've deepened my research through the things that technology have made possible, such as the internet, and so many of the ideas that I had initially discussed have changed and become stronger. For example, after piecing together my footage, I'd realised the music I had downloaded was not an ideal fit. Therefore, I had to go back and find another composition to add alongside my footage to create my intended effect. Furthermore, equipment was very important when planning the finer details of my opening sequence. I needed high-tech equipment to enable the best cinematography as possible. For example, I used my iPhone to take pictures of my actors, which allowed me to then create a casting profile. My phone was very important in the creating stage as I used it to take spontaneous pictures of things, such as possible locations for my product, if I was out and about. I then could easily upload them to Tumblr from my phone or my laptop, so these pieces of equipment were key. When filming for my sequence, I used a Nikon DSLR 5320 and a standard tripod, which was perfect for what I was filming. On the camera there was a special night mode in which allowed me to film a darker location without losing the good quality, and this was perfect for my first scene when the antagonist is sitting in a dark, eerie bedroom. This was essential. I also used Final Cut Pro to edit my footage, which is seen as professional software. This is known as democratisation, as I am an amateur filmmaker using the same soft and hardware to create films as the professional blockbuster directors and editors. As I'm an amateur filmmaker, I use YouTube to watch tutorials on how to use Final Cut effectively and how to capture professional shots, which was needed as I was inexperienced in these fields. Gareth Edwards is a prime example of democratisation, as he managed to create special effects and create realistic monsters all on his personal computer in his bedroom. Monsters became very popular and was highly appreciated despite the amateur process of creation. The cinematography video I watched really helped with capturing top quality shots, and so the technology really enables ordinary people to create art. I have learned that democratisation is simultaneously a good and bad thing. I also use special websites to make my evaluation better too. For example, I use Prezi and eMaze and even the green screen. This clearly shows technological convergence working. So what have I learned? I've learnt specific technological skills needed for filmmaking, such as how to use a camera and how to use editing software. Even though there is a lot of technology available, it still requires the knowledge of the art of filmmaking, i.e. how to compose a camera shot. Without this knowledge, all the technology is worthless. I have also learned about the power of convergence and how it is making filmmaking accessible. This ultimately leads to the democratisation of the film world, and as was stated in the documentary Side by Side, will lead to greater interactivity by so-called audiences. This clearly supports Gauntlet's theory of Web 2.0.